Alright y'all, we're going to take a point of view test drive in this 2020 Dodge Challenger. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I just want you to hear the car, get an idea of what it's like to drive this, have a good point of view, listen to the powertrain. I'll talk a little bit about it, but I have a full review if you want to check that out. I have binaural audio recording right now, so throw some headphones in for the best experience. Starting out, we're just in auto mode. Fantastic sound, 6.4 liter V8, approaching 500 horsepower, but not quite, and it's definitely fun to drive. I'll cycle through the drive modes, use the paddle shifters. We'll get on the interstate for a little bit as well, but just enjoy the drive. Let's go ahead and use those paddles, shift it into manual, downshift. Is the weakest point of this car. It's more of a straight liner, but it's not terrible. Paddles are pretty responsive, not the best. Definitely feels like a heavy car. Put it back in regular mode. Let's go ahead and put it in sport. We got some really cool things. You could automatically hear the exhaust. The electronic stability control turns off. It's going to hold your RPMs a little bit higher, and it's kind of cool. You can see stuff on the screen there. You have performance gauges in here that you can see as well. I'll show you more of that in the full review. Did a double take back there because there was a Mustang. I have had a couple Mustangs rev their engines at me. I didn't do anything to them or anything back, but you got the Mopar people that'll wave at you. It's like a brotherhood, but the Mustangs, for whatever reason, they just must feel threatened by this Challenger. Think of that sound. Throw your headphones in for real, because you can hear things like you're almost here. That bump sounded pretty bad, but sounds great. Very responsive in sport mode for this transmission. You even have a track mode. You can customize things on there to basically tailor the steering, the transmission, the suspension. We have an adaptive suspension here with our wide body, but you can tailor it however you want. grumble with this. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in auto. We'll get on the interstate here in a bit. I'll use the paddle shifters a little more. Just a nice sounding car. And it's actually really smooth. The transmission, the ride comfort is smoother than you'd expect. We do have the adaptive suspension, like I said, but it's not gonna beat you to death stiffness type of race car suspension. It's actually not that bad. And daily driving this has been pretty fun. It's a little bit more practical than I think a lot of people would give it credit for. It's got a little bit of a bigger back seat than you might expect, and the trunk is actually good size. It's got a really nice audio system in here as well. We have the optional Harman Kardon system, 900 watts. It just booms in here. A lot of bass, a lot more bass than you normally will see in a stock system. I'm driving a little more aggressive than I normally do, just so you can hear the car, get a feel for it, and let me know what you think of that binaural audio as well if you're using headphones. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it into manual mode. I'm gonna use these paddles up here and downshift a little bit aggressively coming up to this stoplight. Sport mode. Oh, dang. Alright, we'll catch that next one. While we're sitting here, I just put it back in regular mode, but we are in sport mode up there, and I have a full review. Like I said, if you want to know more of the details about everything in here. A couple quick notes. We have Alcantara seats in this particular trim. You've got the performance flat bottom steering wheel in our particular wide body model. You got the premium stitched dash and door panels. That's another option. So price on this one's coming in at 56 grand, so it is steep, but I love this powertrain. Alright, I actually just put it in track mode. Get onto the interstate. Try not to be illegal. Giddy up. Catching up to that interstate traffic. The 0 to 60 with this auto is in the low 4 seconds. It's not crazy great, but it is fun and exhilarating nonetheless. We're still in track mode. Super responsive. You get a stiff track suspension as well. I'm gonna put it back in sport mode. Get a little bit more firm steering. Get that suspension that adapts to whatever situation you're doing and whatever drive mode you have. So it is just fantastic. Go to manual mode. We're in 7th gear, 7 of 8. Downshift. Back up to 6th gear. Love that drone, that deep drone you get from this powertrain. That exhaust sounds nice. The engine sounds nice. Go ahead and put it back in regular mode. The paddles are fun. you can use that. You can even shift with this shifter down here. So that's kind of nice that you have that option as well. And this car is actually, when you're not getting on it, it's actually quieter than you probably expect. I've been pleasantly surprised just cruising on the interstate between here and work, and it's not bad. I just wish the handling was better, but that's not what this is about. You can definitely go for a different car if you want better handling. And one more thing to mention is the brakes on here are fantastic. You got 6-piston Brembos in the front, 4-piston in the back, and they do a great job. Large rotors. But I hope y'all enjoyed this point of view test drive. The Challenger is still fun no matter what. You got several different powertrain options you can go for. This is the RT Scat Pack Widebody. Got the 6.4 liter 392 Hemi. Signing out.